Welcome back, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we are plunging right into the really intricate and frankly quite unsettling world of
hmm
Gillian Flynn's Gone Girl. Our source material for this one is, well, it's an extensive audiobook-style summary of the novel's plot. It's designed to really distill the core events, the tension, gives us all those critical details without losing that razor-sharp narrative edge.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to unpack that narrative. We want to explore these incredibly layered characters and, of course, deconstruct those jaw-dropping plot twists. Ultimately, the goal is to try and understand what this story is actually revealing about the performance of marriage, the darker side of manipulation, and how perception itself can shift. It's a chilling ride, but fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. What's so effective about Gone Girl's opening, I think, is how fast it creates this deep sense of unease. Yet we're dropped into what seems like a normal fifth wedding anniversary, Nick and Amy Dunn, North Carthage, Missouri, and then boom, it just unravels. Nick gets home, his wife, Amy Elliott Dunn, she's gone. The living room's a mess, broken furniture, signs of a struggle maybe. But right from the start, there's that little nagging feeling, isn't there, that something about it feels, well, almost staged.
Indeed, and what's immediately clear is how Flynn uses that initial setup to mess with our ideas of, domestic tranquility.
Yeah.
A seemingly perfect home, a stable marriage gone, just like that. And a really crucial part here is how quickly this missing person case just explodes into a national media frenzy. Because Amy isn't just any missing wife. She's the inspiration for the amazing Amy children's books her parents wrote. So her disappearance grabs headlines instantly. It frames the whole thing, not just as a police investigation, but as a very, very public trial.
Right. And Nick, he's caught right in that spotlight.
Right.
And he just seems completely lost. He comes across as detached, uncertain, oddly unemotional when the cameras are on him. And, well, as it often happens, suspicion turns straight towards him. You see that media machine just crank into gear, creating this story that's almost impossible for him to fight back against.
Yeah, and that immediately brings up big questions about public perception, doesn't it? About rushing to judgment before we really know anything. But just as the investigators start digging, a crucial second voice enters the story, and it completely reshapes how we see Nick, Amy's diary.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this. This diary, it tracks her thoughts, her feelings, all through the relationship with Nick. Starts with those amazing highs, early courtship in New York, then it slowly shifts, gets into the bitterness after they move to Missouri. It's presented like this raw, intimate look inside her head. But it's really the first masterful layer of Flynn's deception, isn't it?
Precisely. According to this diary, the marriage is, well, it's deeply decayed. She paints Nick as distant, cold, sometimes even frightening. The diary talks about how she feared for her safety, and it leads up to this absolutely chilling entry where she writes, "This man might kill me."
Oh.
And these entries, naturally, they add huge weight to the idea that Nick is hiding something, makes him seem not just aloof, but genuinely menacing. It's calculated, a devastating blow to his public image.
And the hits just keep coming for him. They find out Amy was pregnant, and Nick apparently didn't even know. Then, just to really seal the deal on his public condemnation, another truth comes out. Nick's been having an affair with one of his students, Andy, who's much younger.
This string of revelations just paints Nick as the bad guy, plain and simple. Each new piece of information, the pregnancy he supposedly didn't know about, the affair, it just deepens the public belief that he's Maffey. The brilliance of Flynn's storytelling here is how she makes us, the readers, complicit in that judgment, just like the media does with the public. We get all this evidence and it points. It points right at him.
So, yeah, with every lie they uncover, Nick gets more isolated, more hated.
Yeah.
But even with all signs pointing to his guilt, there's still that little itch, that feeling that something about Amy's story from the diary, it just doesn't quite sit right.
And just when the whole world has basically condemned Nick, we find out a truth that completely flips everything. Everything we thought we knew. The rug's just pulled out from under us. The narrative totally flips. Amy is alive.
Wow. Yeah.
And she has been setting Nick up the entire time.
Her diary. Completely fabricated. Every single seemingly intimate detail, every painful memory, every chilling accusation, all lies.
Yeah.
Those clues she left, the anniversary scavenger hunt, all orchestrated specifically to incriminate him, the blood spatter in the kitchen, the staged crime scene. It was all part of her incredibly elaborate plan. Amy wanted revenge, a perfect punishment for Nick's cheating, his emotional distance.
And this isn't just about Amy's personal feelings. It's like the searing commentary on the pressure women face societally to be a certain kind of woman. This specific, often contradictory version of femininity just to get male approval. Like the source says, she got tired of playing the cool girl, right? The perfect wife who kept changing herself into whatever Nick wanted. That sort of underpins her huge disillusionment and explains the sheer scale of her retaliation. She's not just mad at Nick, she's mad at the whole act she felt forced into. Her vanishing was, well, it was a meticulously crafted legal execution.
Meanwhile, Amy's on the run. She's got a new identity, documenting everything in a private journal. But life on the run isn't quite as glamorous or controlled as she may be pictured. She gets robbed by this couple she thought she could trust. And she ends up having to rely on an old boyfriend, Desi Collings.
Right, Desi. Wealthy, kind of obsessive ex who still totally idolizes her. Which becomes its own kind of prison for her, in a way. So while the world thinks Nick's guilty and Amy's pulling off this perfect revenge, Nick starts to realize his only way out is to, well, beat Amy at her own game. This is where we see his manipulative side start to emerge. He starts doing interviews.
Yeah, but not to win public sympathy, right? He's talking directly to Amy. He knows she's out there watching. He basically weaponizes the media circus against her.
Exactly.
He brings up their shared history, private jokes, moments only she'd remember. He shows remorse, admiration, guilt, subtly trying to reach the person he knew, or maybe the person she used to pretend to be. And it actually works. Amy, who's getting bored and feeling suffocated by Desi's control, decides she wants her old life back, her life with Nick. And this is crucial on her terms.
So in another shocking move, she murders Desi, meticulously fakes this whole story about being kidnapped and raped, and then she dramatically returns home, bloodied, looking broken, right into the arms of a stunned, suddenly sympathetic nation. The really chilling part is how she just manipulates public feeling and the law with such icy precision. She is truly a master of controlling perception.
And Nick. He knows the horrifying truth, but he's completely trapped. He's horrified by what she's done, obviously, but he has zero evidence to prove her story is a lie. He's caught. Amy spins her tale perfectly. Desi's the madman kidnapper, and the world buys it, every single word.
So now they're reunited, and Amy plays the loving, traumatized wife flawlessly. But Nick knows who she really is, and crucially, she knows that he knows. Their marriage just transforms into this silent, awful war of control and compromise. It's a truly chilling flip of power dynamics. Nick, who seemed to be in control at the start, is now completely disarmed. Amy's brilliance isn't just in the initial plan, it's in her ability to constantly keep the upper hand, forcing Nick into this performance of domestic life that basically mirrors her own initial act.
Nick thinks about writing a tell-all book, exposing everything. But Amy, always one step ahead, always the manipulator, she strikes first. She announces she's pregnant.
And what's truly fascinating, or maybe horrifying, is the calculation here. The child was conceived using Nick's sperm, which he'd stored at a fertility clinic earlier. It gives her this permanent, undeniable hold over him. It's the ultimate checkmate, really, binding him to her not just emotionally or legally, but biologically. It ensures he's stuck forever in this reality she's constructed.
So what does this mean for Nick? He's facing this grim choice, right? If he leaves, Amy raises the child alone, and she'll probably shape them into another weapon against him. But if he stays, he can maybe protect the child, and perhaps, just perhaps, find a way someday to reveal the truth. It's a choice between two terrible futures.
And so he stays. The guy who dreamed of escaping this toxic marriage now chooses to stay in it, to shield a life he helped create. That final image is just chilling. Two people trapped in a marriage built on lies, manipulation, mutual destruction, and they're just pretending, always pretending everything's fine. Really makes you think about how far people will go to dominate a relationship and the devastating cost of that kind of control.
Gone Girl is just so much more than a thriller, isn't it? It's this deeply unsettling look at identity, perception, all the masks we wear in relationships. Gillian Flynn creates this world where, nothing is as it seems, and the truth is this slippery, dangerous thing.
Yeah, in this story, marriage really does become a battleground. Truth is just another weapon. Love is like currency for manipulation. And as Amy and Nick stay locked in that dark dance, the novel leaves us with this really chilling, lingering question.
How well can you ever really know the person you love? It's a question that just hangs there long after you finish the story, forcing you to sort of reconsider every relationship you thought you understood.
It pushes us to think critically about how complex human connections really are, about the hidden depths or maybe the hidden shallows that can lie just beneath the surface we see.
So for those of you who found this deep dive captivating and maybe want to immerse yourselves in more psychological thrillers or, other fascinating stories, Audible has a fantastic range of audiobooks and podcasts. And right now, you can actually get access to Audible for just $99 a month for 3 months. Just check out the link in the description to get started with that. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening.